I said, we're going to get started here since it is 11 o'clock. My name is Erica. I'm with Healthy at Hopkins. For anybody that has not met me in the past, we often give webinars and live demos like this one, so we try to share our face so that you can pay attention and follow along as we go. Anybody that has questions throughout the live demo, feel free to send them to the chat, and I will keep an eye on that to answer anything that comes through. We are going to get going. I wanted to first point out that this is not necessarily worth points. A lot of times people think that everything that we give, live webinars, etc., is worth points, and I just wanted to point out right off the bat that this is more for educational purposes. It is to help you all with our Race the Globe challenge and to make sure that you have a full understanding of how to register for the challenge, and then also how to potentially track your steps, whether that be manually or by using a device or an app to actually track your steps as well. So we'll go through all of this. We'll go through how to manually track, but then also how to potentially sync an app or device to our portal to actually track that way as well. So first things first, we are going to talk about how to register. So anybody that has not visited the Healthy at Hopkins portal before, you visit my.jh.edu and log in there. Like you typically would to find a lot of other Hopkins related benefits items. So visit my.jh.edu, log in. You will then see on the right hand side a Healthy at Hopkins logo. So you will click on that logo and that will take you into the portal. If you have not registered before, you will have to do a one-time registration. But after that one-time registration, it's single sign-on. So you click that logo and it takes you right on in. So that's where we are now. If you're looking at my screen currently shows our Healthy at Hopkins portal and what it looks like right now live. So you will see it's very apparent that the challenge is right there front and center on our dashboard. Where it says challenge, it says there are active challenges available. So the challenge that's available is our 2019 Race the Globe Steps Challenge. The Steps Challenge is entity-wide. So we're going to have all of our different entities competing. We have Johns Hopkins Hospital versus Health System versus Healthcare versus International. Not to leave out all of the rest, Bayview. Everybody will be competing against one another. So we will have a winner for entity, the greatest steps average, and then also a winner for the most participation in an entity as well. So we'll have those winners, but then we will also have individual top steppers and individual winners per entity for each entity. So it is a very fun and exciting time for us. We love our Race the Globe challenge, and this is our third annual. So this is our third year in a row. So right off the bat, let's talk about how to register. Like I said, you'll log in on our portal, and right away you'll see where it says challenge right there on the main dashboard. Very simple. You just click right here where it says sign up. So hit sign up, and at this point, you're going to make it the primary challenge because honestly, it's the only challenge right now that is available on the Healthy at Hopkins portal. So you will click sign up now. The details are right there. So it says join this 4-week entity-wide steps challenge. Challenge yourself to virtually race around the globe while bringing more physical activity back into your day. So I'm sure many of you know that the point of this is obviously to get employees and you and your colleagues and everybody up and moving. We are challenging you to try to increase your steps count each day, and then also just to get some walks in throughout the day, whether it be before work, after work, whenever you can make it work. But it is a 4-week challenge, and the goal is 70,000 steps per week, 280 steps total. Every single person is going to be different. We want you to set your own individual goal. And really your goal should just be to try to maybe get more steps each week throughout the challenge. But set a personal goal. It doesn't have to be that goal. It can be whatever goal you want. And participating is just logging your steps each day of the challenge. So just participate and make your own personal goal and then build on the goal each week. The sign up period, so registration is open right now. You can go and do this while we're talking about it. Registration is open. It opened on 4/15, so yesterday, and then registration will go all the way until 5/12. So we actually give you multiple days after the first day of the challenge to still register. So remind your colleagues that even if it's after 5/6, which is the start of the challenge, you can still register until 5/12. The start day of the challenge is May 6th, and it will be a 4-week challenge that ends on 6/3. So this is the bottom line for registration details and also the start and end of the Race the Globe challenge. So there are all of the details there. Then you will click sign up now. And there it is. It was super simple. Days left before start is there, 20 days left, and it says congrats, you're signed up. So as simple as that to actually register. The next step is to figure out steps and how to track your steps, or how you plan to track your steps. And like I said, you do have options there. You can do both manual tracking, or if you don't want to do manual tracking and you have a device, you can use a device to track your steps as well. So diving into that a bit more, we already talked about when it starts, all of that. So for manual tracking, to manually log your steps from the portal, there are a few different ways that you can do it. But if you see along the top here, there's all of these different drop-down menus. So we have the My Exercise drop-down. If you go to My Steps Log, you will see Connect Your Fitbit and more. We'll go there in just a second. And then you can also find where you have the drop-down. Let's see here. When the actual challenge starts, there will be an option here to go in and to add steps manually. So once that is the case, you will see that one there, and you'll be able to go in and actually manually log your steps to add each day throughout the challenge. So again, for getting to where you will manually log, you will go to My Exercise, drop down, My Steps Log, and once the challenge opens, you will be able to click in to actually go into the challenge here and add your steps. You can also go in by this main dashboard as well, but again, because the challenge hasn't started just yet, we can't show that just yet, but use the My Exercise drop down to My Steps Log once this challenge begins, and you can manually add your steps each day. A question that we often get is, do I have to log my steps every single day? What if I miss a day? You can miss a few days. We do recommend that you go in at least once a week to log so that it doesn't miss any of your steps when you log them. But you can go in every few days and log your steps. If you miss a couple days, it really is okay. It's more so that we want to make sure that you get credit for every step that you take. So please make sure that you go in at least once a week if you are manually logging. I often recommend to just add it to your calendar. If you have an Outlook calendar in front of you, potentially put an appointment on there so that every week, maybe Monday and Wednesday, or Wednesday and Friday, or 2 days, or 1 day of the week, you have a reminder in your Outlook calendar to go in and log your steps manually. So super simple. It does not take long to go in and manually log. So if that's an option and that's what you would like to do, that's totally fine. Feel free to do that option. The other option is synced tracking. So when this is available, like I said, you'll be able to log your steps, but the other option that you can click here is our Connect Your Fitbit and More. So if you click here, I will tell you right now that this page can be accessed by doing what we just showed. It can also be accessed by going to the main dashboard, scroll down, and you will see right here, there is a tile that says Connect Your Fitbit and More. So you can also just click on that tile either way, however you want to get in is fine. So these are all of the different apps and devices that are available. The ones that are listed here are the ones that are technically considered available for verified steps, which means they can be used for this challenge. I want to show you guys really quick how to actually sync an example. We're going to do a Fitbit as an example. So you can click Fitbit if that's what you choose to use. You can click on Fitbit, scroll down, hit Connect. And what will happen is it will actually bring you to the Fitbit website to log in. So at this point, you will need to enter your information that is not associated with your Hopkins, Healthy at Hopkins account. This information is whatever information you have for your Fitbit account. So when you created your Fitbit account, if you have a Fitbit or if you have the Fitbit app on your phone, whenever you created that account, whatever information you used, that's what you will use here. So really quick, I'm going to throw my info in here to show you. You log in with your Fitbit information. You can click allow all, or you can pick and choose what you want them to have access to, as long as you make sure to do activity and exercise. That should be good. And if you would like to sync your weight, you can do that as well. And then Fitbit devices and settings. I typically just click allow all because the bottom line is they're only going to be pulling the information that's relevant anyway. So you click allow. Oh, of course, we got an error message. I'm going to try one more time. Connect. There we go. Sometimes that happens. If it says error message, you just have to hit connect again and it'll move forward. So that's the only thing you really need to do is you put your Fitbit information in, you log in like you'd be logging into the Fitbit website, and now it's connected. Super simple. It says last download never. So this is something I want everybody to pay attention to. It says never. In 24 hours, it will have my Fitbit information there. So as of tomorrow, I will be able to see what my steps are according to my Fitbit. So that last download never, don't let that scare you. It's just because it can take up to 24 hours for it to process. So even with the other apps and devices, not just Fitbit, it might take 24 hours for the information to pop up. If I were to log in this time tomorrow, instead of saying last download never, it will have my steps count there. So that is how you would sync an app or device. Very easy. That was just Fitbit. Like I said, there are others here. So you can follow the different instructions to actually connect a Fitbit or a device. And we're going to go back to the main dashboard. So that's how you connect. That's a really great option as well, so you don't have to bother or worry about going in and adding your steps each day. Give me 1 second here. I'm going to check on questions. So I'm getting there with the Apple Watch. I know that that will be a question. I'm going to address it in just a second. Android, I'm going to address that as well. Will a device only log if you have 10,000 steps or more? No. The device will log no matter how many steps you get. And that's the thing, is a lot of people are worried that they shouldn't even participate in this if they don't hit 10,000 steps a day. That's not the case. Like I said, have your own personal goal. This will download and sync your steps no matter how many you get a day. You don't have to hit 10,000 to participate in this challenge. This can be a great way of, maybe if you're averaging around 6,000 or 7,000 steps a day and you participate in this challenge, this could be a great way to just up your goal a little bit. Start the first week with your 6,000, and then maybe week 2, 7,000, week 3, 8,000. So if you just per day, sorry, not per week, but steps per day. And if you just increase your steps per day each week, then that could be a way of you personally working on a goal and increasing the amount that you're moving each day. Because that's the bottom line here, is we're just trying to help everybody to move a bit more. It's not that you have to hit 10,000 a day. So somebody did ask, will the device only log if you hit 10K more or more a day? For our rewards program, which some entities have access to, not all, but for the rewards program, you only get a point if you hit 10,000 steps per day, but that is completely separate from this Race the Globe challenge. This is totally different. So I highly recommend participating no matter how many steps you get a day, and you can absolutely still have your device sync the right number of steps, no matter what number that is. Do steps have to be verified to be counted? Yes. So it has to either be a device that syncs and is verified, or we recommend doing the manual logging. My Fitbit has been connected for months and it's not syncing. I've hit 1456 today so far, still shows 0. So 2 things there. One, if your Fitbit is not syncing, I would disconnect it and then reconnect it. I don't know if you've already tried that. If you've already tried that, my other recommendation would be to reach out to me directly, which I'm going to give my contact information. But my name is Erica Profili, and you can find me in Outlook. I fall right under the Healthy at Hopkins. Really, you can just search Healthy at Hopkins in Outlook, and my name will pop up underneath, and you can message me directly. And I can always set up an appointment with you to figure out what might be going on in the back end and why it's not syncing. But I would recommend trying to disconnect completely, give it a day off, and then reconnect to see if that makes a difference. So that's all the questions for now. We're going to move forward. I'm going to touch on Apple Watch and Android here. So for Apple Watch, A lot of employees have Apple Watch, and we know this. Unfortunately, Apple has not worked with us to make this a verified steps option. So as of right now, Apple Watch is not a verified steps option. So we have two recommendations for those that are I'm so sorry, and thank you all for sending that. I was not on mute, it disconnected me. Can somebody said, okay, somebody said thank you. Let me know if you still, okay, everybody's saying I'm back, great. Sorry about that, the phone disconnected, I didn't hit mute. But I apologize, I will start over with the Apple Watch, that's what I was talking about. So I'm starting over with Apple Watch, I see your messages, thank you. So Apple Watch, unfortunately, we do not have the ability to make Apple Watch have verified steps. So Apple Watch, as of now, it does not give us verified steps for the portal. So that being said, two options for Apple Watch. The first option, manual tracking. So that being said, I have an Apple Watch. I know that by going into our Apple Watch app, we can see how many steps we took over the past 5 days plus. We can see past week, past 2 weeks. So that being said, you can go in and manually enter, and you don't have to do that every day. So like I said earlier, we recommend doing it every few days just to make sure that you're getting every step you take tracked. But you can put a calendar reminder in and just go in every couple of days and add the amount of steps that you took according to your Apple Watch. So manual entering is one option. It really is very quick to manually enter your steps, and you can do it twice a week if you choose to do so, however many times a week you choose. So that's one option. The other option we recommend, this is an option for not only people with Apple Watch, but anybody that doesn't have an actual device and you have a phone. The app that we recommend you use if you have a phone and no device, or if you have an Apple Watch, is the Fitbit app. So even if you don't have a Fitbit device, you can still use the app. You just download the Fitbit app and you use that, and when you register or create your Fitbit account, you choose no device. There is an option to choose no device, and then your phone will track your steps through the Fitbit app, and the Fitbit app is what syncs to the portal. So just like I showed earlier, to connect your Fitbit, you would do it the exact same way, and on your Fitbit account, you make sure that you choose that you have no device. Then the bottom line is you just need to make sure that you keep your Fitbit with you, or not your Fitbit, sorry, your phone with you whenever you go for any kind of a walk. So the biggest thing is for the 4 weeks of the challenge, being conscious that you have your phone on you, since it's tracking through your phone. But the Fitbit app is the one that we recommend. It definitely is really great with tracking steps. It syncs to the portal really well, and that way you don't have to go in and manually log every day. So for Apple Watch, we apologize. We know how many people have Apple Watches, but there's nothing we can do at this time. So those are the two best options, is either to manually log your steps each day based on what your Apple Watch says, or connect the Fitbit app from your phone and just choose that you do not have a device. So even if you don't have a Fitbit device, you can use Fitbit, and it's still a really great option. And yes, phone tracking doesn't work when you're walking on or running on a treadmill. I agree. It does not work well. Some people get one of the armbands to potentially hold it there, and some people say it works for them. Other people say it does not. We're aware, and we really, like I said, we wish that we could help with the Apple Watch, but right now it's completely out of our control. So if you are somebody that has an Apple Watch and runs on a treadmill, I would recommend manually tracking your steps. Again, we're not asking you to log in every single day. Just keep it on your radar to log in at least once a week and put down every day and what you have stepped based on your Apple Watch data. I'm just making sure that I have answered all questions so far. For Android phone, the Fitbit app works for both Android and iPhone and Apple. So I would recommend the Fitbit app for anybody with Android as well. In general, we recommend the Fitbit app. That is the one that we're recommending. So if you do not have a device or you have the Apple Watch, that is definitely the app that we recommend downloading is the Fitbit app. It works great for Android and for iPhone as well. So that is all the questions that I have right now. So I believe we can move forward. I will keep an eye on that though. So that is how you sync. Please note, you must use one of the apps or devices from the list here on the portal in order to sync steps and be a part of the challenge and have them be verified. It has to be one of these that is listed on the portal. So again, that is why the Fitbit app is the one that we mainly recommend. So the Fitbit app is also free. I forgot to mention that. Another reason we recommend it, it is 100% free. It's compatible with Android and iPhone, and it does not require you to purchase a wearable tracker. So that's the biggest thing. Do not think that you need a Fitbit device or a tracker on your wrist to use it. You can absolutely download the app and just choose that you do not have an actual device. So we'll go through really quick some common questions. First, when does the challenge start? So Monday, May 6th is the very first day. The challenge ends on June 3rd at 11:59. So that is a date that I would put in your calendars. It's June 3rd, it ends at 11:59, and you want to make sure that you log your steps for that day. So two things. One, remember that you can log into the portal at home. If you log in at my.jh.edu, just like you would at work, you can log in at home. And if you're somebody that's manually entering steps, make sure that you do it by 11:59 on June 3rd to get steps for that day. Unfortunately, it's the only way that it can be set up, so you have to make sure you log by the end of that day, 11:59 on June 3rd. So if you're somebody manually tracking, make a note to yourself that at the end of that day, you go in and manually enter your manually log your steps, even if it's from home. So we recommend to make sure that you check and add your steps that day. And again, you will not be able to backlog those steps for June 3rd. So once you come in on June 4th, the challenge is over. Make sure you log on June 3rd. Is participating in the STEPS challenge incentivized is another very common question. So we'll address that really quick. For entities that do participate in the annual rewards program, I know I said earlier, it's not all entities, so I want to make that clear. But for those entities that do participate in the rewards program, yes, this STEPS challenge is incentivized. You can earn points, but you must log or sync your steps at least once each week for all 4 weeks. So that's why I kept saying earlier, make sure if you're manually entering, go in at least once a week. So you have to log or sync your steps at least once a week, each week of the challenge, all 4 weeks. And then the other part to get additional points would be syncing at least 145,000 steps by the end of the challenge, 145,000 by the end. So that being said, those two things, if you do both of them, you are eligible for points. If you go to your rewards program page on your portal, you can get into all of the details there. Again, since it's only certain entities, I'm not going to dive into details with how many points, etc., because each entity is a little bit different. But if you visit your dashboard and your portal, check out where Race the Globe is, and you can see how many points you could potentially earn depending on your entity. Another one is the Apple Watch question, and we already addressed that. Feel free to send anything else if you come up with any other questions. Well, I have one more. Hold on one second. So if you have the Healthy Now app, will the numbers sync to the portal from your Apple Watch? So even if it's connected, the only thing that's capable of syncing is cardio. So especially for rewards program, you can get points for cardio through syncing through the Healthy Now, but unfortunately, in theory, it should. I see that you wrote that, and I agree. In theory, it should, but because they're not verified steps, unfortunately, that is not a way to get steps verified. So again, for Apple Watch, the only two ways to get your steps verified are either to manually enter or to use the Fitbit app instead of the Apple Watch. Good. Somebody already added their Fitbit to their Android and it's working for them, so that's great. And one other question that we often get that's a very common question, can I see how my entity is doing through the challenge? So although the challenge is not up just yet, once it is, right here on the main dashboard where it says 2019 Race the Globe Steps Challenge, you will have access to all kinds of different things. Once you click into the challenge on the portal, you will be able to see a comment board, which is really fun because you can see what different people are commenting and writing. A lot of people write encouraging things there, especially since the entities are competing. It's a great opportunity to encourage different employees and your colleagues to get stepping and all of that. So we have a comment board that will be right there available on the main dashboard. You will also be able to see the leaders. So the top 50 steppers across the enterprise will be showing up there as well. And then I'm going to show you all really quick the comment board from this is just an example from last year. So these are different examples that came through last year. It says, wow, 1 million steps already. That's roughly 588 miles. So really fun comments that were written all throughout the challenge last year, both encouraging and ones like that show you how much, as a whole, Johns Hopkins is moving. With all the different entities involved, it ends up showing you how many steps you've all taken as a whole and how much distance that is, which is crazy to think about. So great opportunity to not only be encouraged by things that people are writing on this comment board, but also encourage your colleagues and encourage your different friends and colleagues and coworkers to get stepping and to participate in this challenge, because it really is, it's a lot of fun. You can potentially earn points if you are somebody who participates in the rewards program. And then again, it can just be a really great way to interact and to communicate and talk to your different colleagues throughout all of Johns Hopkins, which is great. So here are different examples from the comment board. And it says, how do you build a team? So your team will be your entity. So when you check on here and you check all participants means Johns Hopkins Enterprise. So that means everybody that's competing across. So hospital, health system, healthcare, Bayview, international, all of the above and more will all be under all participants. If you click on my team, that will be your specific entity. So if you work for Bayview and you click my team, that will just be Bayview. That's listed with all of their comments. So that's the difference there. So you actually don't build a team, you're already in a team based on whatever entity you work for, according to HR. So whatever entity you work for will be your team. And I'm looking at the question board. This is just about all that we have for today. I'm going to keep an eye on the question board to see if we have any other additional questions. I also just wanted to throw out there, if you click on the Race the Globe tile, which is not here just yet, but soon enough, there will be a Race the Globe tile along the top here. So that will be something that you can click on. Once you click on that Race the Globe tile, you'll be able to find an FAQ, which is very helpful and will give you all kinds of different answers to different information, and also a details flyer with all kinds of details about the start, the end, why to participate, all kinds of different things. We also will have weekly tip sheets. So we will be sharing our weekly tip sheets with you. just different ways and different tricks to get up and get moving and get more steps in throughout the day. And then also this is being recorded. So we will also add this live demo to the portal as a recording. So if you participated today, great. If you have colleagues that are interested and don't know how to register or have more questions about the challenge, feel free to send them to the Race the Globe tile, which will be here, and that will have a recording of this demo that they can listen to. One more note, again, if you search Healthy at Hopkins in Outlook, you will find my name under it. My name is Erica, and if you reach out to me directly, I'm happy to answer questions. We also have our contact us information. If you email the healthyathopkins@jhmi.edu, it will go to our support team, and they are there and willing to answer all of your questions as well. So healthyathopkins@jhmi.edu for our support team. And I don't think I see any other questions. Feel free to send any additional questions that you have to the chat. One other thing, can somebody also chat to let me know if in the chat I actually added a link. So if you visit, there is a questions area, but then there's also a chat area. And if you visit that chat area, you should be able to see a link that I added. That is the Fitbit instructions to sync a Fitbit app without a device. So in case that would be helpful for you all, I recommend using that as well, and I'll send it here too. So I believe I just added it to the comments, but either way, okay, somebody said that it works. Thank you. I just wanted to make sure you all had access to that too. So that is a great resource as well, because not only would it be good for yourself, but again, if you have a colleague that is interested and wants to potentially sync their phone, have them use the Fitbit app, and there are the instructions right there, step by step, to potentially sync your Fitbit app to the portal. Perfect. I'm getting some thank yous, so I think that we are good to go. Thank you all so much for joining, and we are here to help in any way that we can. Healthy at Hopkins, we are always here to help, and we encourage you to participate in the challenge. It's really fun. It's a great way to interact and get more involved with your colleagues throughout your entity and then throughout the enterprise, the whole Johns Hopkins enterprise as well. So we are here. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us, and thank you all. Have a great day.